Welcome to the common chaos of sisterhood.
I'm Haley.
And I'm Amy.
Come hang out with us.
Grab your drinks and get comfy.
And let's get into it. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode. If you're new here, welcome. If you are returning, welcome back. We are currently it is currently October. We're currently in our Halloween season, spooky season videos.
Spookiness.
If you have not watched the other Halloween episodes, I'd definitely recommend going and checking those out, and then checking out videos from season 1. And yeah, anywho,
And they gradually get better,
they
so
do.
don't judge us on what we just first started.
They do. But if you want to go ahead and kick us off with our question of the day.
Question of the day is, what is your favorite urban legend?
I really don't like know much about urban legends. Um, I guess like
Or a
urban
story
legends are
you were
like
told?
like urban legends are like what, like Bigfoot and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's just like they're either like stories that will teach you a lesson, or like stories that like make kids mind usually. Um,
Oh.
or like entities or spirits or whatever, like maybe a culture believes in, just something that can't really be proven, but you know.
I don't really know. I guess I don't really have one. I mean, Bigfoot used to freak me out.
Well, we know on the some of the last episodes, Bloody Mary freaked you out.
Yeah, that's true. That did. Um, I think when I like would what you would call it? They made a movie about it. La Llorona, that one, like the was that
That's an urban
technically
legend.
an urban legend?
Yes, ma'am.
That was kind of interesting. That story was kind of interesting.
Mm.
Um, um, but yeah, I don't really know, man. What's yours?
Oh, you know. So mine is Krampus.
um,
When we were in Europe, it's one of those we got to see, like we were in the Dolomite Mountains,
mhm,
and they're like have like huge parades,
mhm.
and like they shut down the whole street, and they have like characters dressed like extreme dress up, Krampus, and like bullying kids,
Oh my
and like
gosh,
it's amazing. It's so cool.
that's crazy. So you just like
But
bullying kids?
kind of, yeah. But today's episode is going to be about urban legends, and we're going to go through kind of around the world, different urban legends. If I don't hit some that y'all know of, you like leave a comment. Like I would love to read it. Um, and also, fair warning, these are our around the world legends, so I'm not going to be able to pronounce it very well. I am going to do my best, but bear with me because I'm probably going to mispronounce stuff. We're going to start off with urban legends in Japan. Again, don't really can't really pronounce some of them. So we're gonna see how this goes. Um, at the end of the episode, you're going to kind of like pick from these ones and see
Okay,
which ones you like best, which ones are the creepiest, like stuff like that.
okay.
But the first one is going to be the girl in the gap. Uh, Tsukima Ona,
Wait, the
Tsukima
Gap,
Ona.
like the Gap store, the clothing store?
N- No, a gap like between like the wall and the refrigerator, or like in a
Oh,
door
just
crack.
gaps.
Like just gaps around the house,
Creepy.
like
Okay.
between like a shelf, and like just anything like dark in between gap.
Oh, okay. Weird.
And it says if you see eyes looking at you through the gap, she'll ask you to play hide and seek. If you make eye contact again with her, she'll kill you.
I don't like this no more. My door's not all the way
Yeah,
closed.
that's but it's like if you see a pair of eyes, like and I'm talking about like under the bed, doorways, shelving, like any
Pull my feet
dark
up.
Any dark gap, if you look down or you look into it and you see two pairs of eyes, and she asks if you want to play hide and seek, and then you lock eyes with her again, she is yours. She will take you down to wherever to her home, and she will kill you.
So what you just need to do is just constantly wear headphones so you can't hear her. Keep every light on. I really don't
Keep
like this
every
because
light on. Carry a flashlight.
I look up and my door's just barely not all the way closed. And you said under
Don't
the bed,
eye
my
contact.
feet went up.
Your bed's like right next to you.
It really is, and I don't like it.
That's probably we kick it off with that.
I'm
Yep, it's a very
uncomfy.
simple, very like short one. Is just don't look in the gaps. I don't know what lesson that you're supposed to be learning from that,
Maybe it's to
but
keep kids in bed. I don't know. To
I don't
teach
know.
children to keep their lights on at night? To waste electricity? Huh.
Don't be scared of the dark.
I'll teach you to raise your electricity bill and be scared of the dark. Here we go. Listen to this one.
Girl in the gap. And there's also another Japanese one called Tiki Tiki. I think you've heard of that one. I think Markiplier plays like a video game. It's called Tiki Tiki.
Oh.
Um, so on Rayo, on Rayo is the name. It's mostly known by Tiki Tiki. It's a woman that was wronged. That's what it means. So there's two different stories. Kind of like the origins of it. They both involve trains though. So the first one was there was a woman that was a attacked and like around like a not like train station,
Uh huh.
but like one of those like there's a lot of train tracks and like outside,
Uh huh.
kind of like where they get loaded and stuff.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Well,
yeah.
there was a woman that was in the bathroom and she got attacked by a man. Got assaulted by him and
That's sad.
she got away and ran. Well, she ran through the train tracks. Train came and cut her in half.
Well, that's so sad.
So her legs and her torso were severed.
That's so sad.
Um, one of the guys in like driving the train saw this and went up to her. She was still alive.
Oh,
He didn't call authorities. He didn't try to help her. He just covered her with a blanket and walked away.
that's so sad.
So that's like the story, like story one of how it started. Second story whereas there was this really shy schoolgirl that got bullied and she like constant bullied. Well, there was this kid that decided to, freak her out. They were in a train station to like go home after school, and he had put a locust, like a little bug, on her shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
And she looked over, saw it, freaked out, was like wigging out, trying to get it off of her, fell onto the train tracks.
Oh,
Train came, cut her in half.
it's so
Legs,
sad.
torso.
I feel like this is a very important part of this. Legs, torso.
Yes. So those are two different stories on how it originated. But it is said that there was a couple instances like this like boy was looking in the window, a very pretty girl. They waved, said hi, and then kind of looked away, looked back, and she had um jumped out the window, just the torso, screaming, "Where are my legs?"
Oh,
and
delightful.
attacked him. Others say that she kind of haunts around train tracks, um, or like finds somebody that has done a woman wrong. And the reason why the name is Tiki Tiki is because it's just her torso, and she has super like long razor sharp nails.
Mm-hmm.
And when she crawls, it sounds like tiki 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 tiki, like
I
with the
see.
nails.
Yeah, weird.
And she screams. Where are my legs? Attacks them, kills them.
Nice.
There's a couple stories and there's a couple video games about this, and I'm pretty sure like Jacksepticeye, Markiplier, I know those are the ones I watch. There's a um video game about it. It's like a I think it's a like an indie game.
Uh huh.
And that's like a gas station, and he's trying to, and it pretty much sounds like a train coming. But she's meant to like she said that she's like super like inhumanly fast. Like if you can escape her and get away from her, yeah, get to your house, she'll leave you alone. But she's inhumanly fast,
Interesting.
like able to keep up with a car, freaking crawling.
Jeez. You know what I've noticed about
Oh,
both of those? You said both of
mm,
those were the Japanese ones, right?
mm-hmm.
Both of them are. You said you look at it, you look away, and you looked back. Just don't look
You
back.
you look
Maybe that's the moral of
you
the
look at it,
story.
eye contact, never look away.
No, it's just
Just
the moral of the story. Don't look back.
yeah. No, no, no. Never look away. Show your dominance and wait till they look
It's just
away.
post up.
So that's those are some cool Japanese ones. I mean,
Yeah.
there's a lot more, but a lot like I'm trying not to have kind of like redundant
Mm-hmm.
ones because
Mm-hmm.
they have so my thing about urban legends, and I think it's so cool, there are very similar,
Mm-hmm.
very, very similar urban legends
Mm-hmm.
in different cultures all
Oh,
around the world.
yeah.
Like, so like that makes me believe that definitely like it has something like some truth to it. One urban legend from a different continent and different culture to another one that's a different continent, different culture,
Mm-hmm.
and they're very, very freaking similar. So I'm
Yeah.
trying not to get a bunch of the same similar ones,
Right.
but those are the two that really caught my attention in Japanese. And we're gonna go on to Europe, which is a lot of space to fill.
Yeah.
But again, some of my favorite ones. So we're in Europe now,
Okay.
and then we're gonna start off with, you know, one of my favorite urban legends, and they're definitely big up in the mountains.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Krampus. So Krampus, evil Santa.
I've only ever heard of
He
it
actually
once the movie came out.
movie, yeah. It's so cool to experience. Like you would hate it, but it was so cool to
Probably.
experience. Um, but it was pretty much evil Santa does the opposite of what Santa does. He actually works aside. Um, with Santa. There's actually or Saint Nick. There's I think there's four that work with Santa or something. Like I don't know. Um basically it's one of those urban legends. Be good or Krampus is gonna come take you.
Right.
He is half goat, half demon.
Nice.
He carries chains with him, he carries weapons with him. He punishes the bad kids, beats them with a stick,
That's so
and
sad.
then yeah, beats him with a stick. And it's a certain kind of branch. I forgot what the branch it was, but beats him with a stick and takes the really bad kids home with him to eat them,
Oh,
to
wonderful.
torture. Yep, to torture them, then eat them. Um,
Wonderful.
again, work with Santa. Pretty much, it's a time of year that you just like you get drunk, dress like a demon, and scare kids like in the middle of the street, and it's a very very fun
And
time.
it's socially
And I
accepted.
am doing a very bad example of explaining this. But basically, it's used to if you're not good, instead of if you're good, Santa will bring you gifts. If
Hmm.
you're not good, this demon goat man is going to come beat you with a stick and eat you.
Just imagine, just be like, little Johnny hits his sister. Do you want to be eaten by a goat demon?
A goat demon and beaten with a
No.
stick.
Then stop.
But yeah, it was such a cool experience. Like I have pictures and stuff.
Hmm.
We went to the Dolomites with a friend for Aaron's birthday,
Hmm.
and I was walking the dog. Literally, literally scared the shit out of this dog.
Oh my gosh.
like, was terrified, couldn't get away.
Oh my
He was in a harness, and
gosh.
I was the one holding on to him, and he was, like, trying to get away, and runny runny poops were coming out of him
Ew.
all down the sidewalk. Like, he was so scared.
Poor puppy.
It was a poor puppy. He was such a good dog too. Like, he was such a good dog. We really didn't have to have him on a leash, but we, like, of course, put him on a leash.
Mhm.
And, like, took him everywhere we went, like, stopped at the parade and everything. Like, oh my gosh. Poor dog. I actually have I have a saved video of it,
Oh my
and
gosh.
I'll have to show you later, but
That poor
it was so funny.
thing. Poor thing.
Um, but yeah, like, I did a really bad job of explaining Krampus, but pretty much, you bad. Imma
I
beat you with a
mean,
stick,
it's,
torture you, and come eat you.
that's. I mean, I don't know really what else you can explain because that's. I mean, pretty basic information, man.
But I am gonna kinda go in depth with this next one,
Mhm.
just because I think it's messed up,
Uh huh.
funny, and just all around weird,
Uh huh.
and this was taken very, very seriously in Irish culture. Like, people were beaten, people died, people were put to death
Oh my gosh.
because they truly, truly believe this.
Oh my gosh. That's horrible.
The changeling.
That's what it's called.
Yep. Do you know anything about changelings?
Like shapeshifters.
Yeah, so it's like the changeling is like the kids that, like devil kids that like pretty much suck the life out of their mother.
Oh.
Like that's what it's like. It's in TV shows. Like there's an episode of about it on Supernatural. But um it originated in Ireland, and it's pretty much fairies, elves, anything of that kind of creature.
Hmm.
Um they come in and replace their newborn, like the human newborn,
Hmm.
with one of their own, which it's usually either a one of their newborns or one of their elders that need to be taken care of.
Interesting.
Usually it's there's something wrong with it, and they're wanting, or they just can't take care of the child or the
Hmm.
elder, and they take the human baby, raise it as a slave,
Oh, that's rude.
and you take care you take care of their child.
How rude.
But like so the elves and the fairies, whichever one, will come up to your like window,
Hmm.
climb in your window, take your baby, and leave with a look-alike. How you tell? It's usually um, m- they say like mothers can tell because maybe there's a deformity,
Hmm.
like maybe the baby doesn't look the same, or there's like maybe they're sickly, they're
Hmm.
undersized, they stop growing,
Hmm.
maybe like weird teeth, like long torso and short arms, or really long arms and legs and really short torso.
Hmm.
Just any abnormality,
Right.
like deformity, is usually how you can tell. Sometimes you really could tell for sure. Like sometimes it just looks completely normal. And you just couldn't tell. Maybe your baby was just acting odd that day, and they just like, oh, it's changing.
That's weird.
Um, so they had tests that they would do on these babies to
Hmm.
see if they were fairies, elves, goblins, whatever. Um, and those included the easiest one. They would kind of like observe and see if they acted a certain way.
Hmm.
Maybe they're acting different, and they're like, okay, I'm pretty sure it's a changeling. Which is, if you have a kid, like some days they're just off.
Yeah.
Could you imagine? Could you imagine? You'd be like, oh my gosh,
Just
it's changing.
one day they just be off, just having an off day and be like, oh my gosh, this is not my kid.
Um, Another way, just leave them alone. Leave them alone in a room. When they think they're not being watched, they would get up and sing and dance and even play the bagpipes. Out of like they would pull the bagpipes out of thin air.
I was like, where would they
And
get the bagpipes?
I don't know. Um, they would act like a fairy, act like an elf. And when they think no one's watching, and like that's the way you can catch them. Make you can make them laugh. Like you can say absurd things or do absurd things to make them like break character and laugh. Usually involved eggshells for some reason. But like I make them break character.
So what my understanding is the
Um,
Irish don't believe that their children know how to sing, dance, or laugh.
yeah.
Nice. Okay
Um,
then.
do something that like had to do with bad luck, like maybe fall or just having a bad day, and they would hysterically laugh, like not like a baby giggle, like
Pretty much
grown
they're making
person
fun of you because you're dumb.
having a bad day. Yeah. Um, or you know, get the laughing, get the singing, get the acting weird. Um, and it goes into you think that your baby's not your baby, beat it with a broom.
You're having an off day. Come here. Act normal, please. What would
You beat
that
them with the
do?
broom until they break character. And they're really hard to break. Like they want to stay in your house. They're really, really hard to break.
So you just
So
give
you
your
beat them with the
child
broom either
brain
until they die
damage.
or break character.
You just give your poor child brain damage because you think it's a fairy instead of your actual child.
Yeah.
You
Another
poor
way.
children.
Yeah, yeah. Now listen to this. Another way is you pick up the baby with the shovel and you put them over the fire
Oh my god!
and they'll break character because it's hot and they want to run. So when they run, they like they do it quickly. They run up the chimney or like they run out the door like real fast. But yeah, pick them up with the shovel
So
and stick them in the fire.
if you put your baby in the fire and they just sit there, it's your baby. But
No,
if they
no,
try to
there.
get away from the heat, it's not.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Or you can stick them in the oven
It's,
and
it's,
start cooking them.
is this Hansel and Gretel? Oh my
I
god.
think I think this is where the Hansel and Gretel story came from.
Maybe.
Strangely.
Maybe.
Yep, and the changeling would do everything they can to escape, including climbing the chimney, vanishing. Um, but if they got out of the oven, it was a changeling. And then if you have baby roast, it
You
was your
know it was
baby.
your baby. Oh my god, that's horrible. That's so
Like this is so
horrible.
ridiculous. But like it's serious because this actually happened. Like there were
That's
so many
crazy.
people that got killed, like so many babies that got killed and beaten that like it was a real thing. It's serious, but it's so funny, it's ridiculous.
That's insane.
And so when they escaped, when you figured out, this is a changeling, they would come and they would bring your baby back. So you would get your baby back. But the only way to get your baby back is to
Is to almost kill it.
it was proved that it was a
So
changeling.
either you're doing all this stuff hoping it's a changeling at this point. Like you're like, oh, I don't want a changeling as a baby. But at this point you're hoping it's a changeling. And then to get your baby back. But then if it's not, you just
You just killed the
murder
baby.
your child.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And unfortunately, so many babies were and children, like, because they would do children like that too. Um, were killed because of diseases, if they got sick, um, if like any abnormalities, I can't say the word, came up, or like they were born with defects,
That's
like
so
anything, like
sad.
even like I would say common cold, we probably didn't have common cold back then, but anything that they just seemed like it wasn't normal. So many children and babies died
That's so
because
sad.
of this. Um, honestly, it's not just babies either. Like some adults, they would say like oh they got switched if they were showing mental illness. And the big one was moms that had just had a baby,
Hmm.
postpartum depression.
Yeah.
Really sucks. I had it really bad. Um, that you act different,
Yeah.
like you have a chemical imbalance, you act different. Yeah. The mothers, these same things,
That's crazy.
people would kill mothers with postpartum.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So it's like weird, and it's like, are you serious? Like you can't fathom that now, but it was a big, big thing
Yeah.
in Irish culture to be like, yeah, you're acting different, you're acting weird, you're a changeling.
You're not my child.
So that one's fun.
Oh my gosh. Just imagine like that old saying is like, nah, I found you under. Am I really your cat child? No, I found you under a rock. No, the fairy switched you.
And I decided not to put you in the oven.
Oh my goodness.
Um, Another one. This one kind of reminded me of the nun.
Hmm.
It's called the Witch of the Convent. The Witch of the Convent.
Yeah.
Maria Renetta, I think that's how you say her last name. She was known for her extreme beauty. Like she was absolutely gorgeous, so beautiful. Um, and she hadn't taken her vow yet. But everyone, like far and wide, and this nun is so freaking beautiful,
Yeah.
which so weird. But when she took her vow, all the rest of the nuns began to suffer convulsions
Oh.
and uh demon like qualities,
Oh.
like they're being possessed. Well, it turns out Maria had poisoned them.
Oh. That's rude.
The poison was found in her room, and she confessed to have been trained in black magic
Oh. Oh.
and was from a coven that she was raised in, like with her mothers and sisters and all that. And she had died there along with some other nuns. And it's still known to be at that convent. It's still known to be haunted by her spirit, her evil spirit.
Oh.
And she kills children, and you see bright red eyes in the dark. And it's just like, and she comes and she meets you as a nun. And like there's been multiple people that they're like, that's I've never seen her, like she'll appear as a nun, but that none of the rest of the nuns know, or the students, like because they
Mm,
have
yeah. 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 Yeah.
schools and stuff there, they don't know this person.
It does
And
sound like that.
there's always these eyes and this dark presence and these shadows
Oh.
that follow them around.
I don't understand what it is with like these the eyes in the dark. That's creepy.
I think it's because like in your brain, you like when you see something, you kind of see faces and
Mm,
see
yeah.
eyes. Like
Yeah.
I look at cars and I'm like, that car looks
Yeah.
angry. That car
It's
looks sad.
it's real funny because I ruined Teslas for my fiance because if you look at a Tesla, it's a certain model, but if you look at it, it looks like it has big lips. Anyway, sorry, that's really random, but continue.
No, but I think that's the reason why you see eyes and things is because your brain's kind of hardwired to see faces and recognize faces.
Yeah.
But yeah, that one just reminded me of the nun,
Yeah, this
so
sounds
I
really
added that one on
similar.
now.
Yeah.
We're gonna go back to another Irish folklore. It's called the fetch.
Fetch.
The
That's
fetch.
so fetch.
You don't want to call this fetch.
We're not gonna make this one
It's
happen.
a it's a supernatural double.
Oh.
If you evil twin,
Oh.
if you want to say it's an omen. If you are walking down the street and you see yourself, it could be like dressed differently, had tattered clothes, usually has a scar or something, shows you how you will die.
Oh, that's terrifying. So if you see your doppelganger,
Jesus, you're a doppelganger. Ignore it.
that's scary.
Um, but yeah, you show scars, torn clothes. It pretty much just shows you how you die, and it just it looks just like you, and it's supposed to be an omen, like a death omen, or um, just like, hey, we're twinsies. No,
No. No.
but I thought that was really cool. So
That's
if you ever like
weird.
walk down the road and you just see yourself dressed differently or scars or
Ignore it.
like
Walk away.
badly beaten, be like, all right, well,
Never wearing that outfit.
memorize it. Okay.
Memorize it. Okay. Stay away from it. So it's like, would you like to wear this green shirt? No.
I'm never wearing that color again. I thought that one was pretty cool because I always said I wanted a twin. I think it'd be really cool to have a twin,
I don't
like
want
have
that
two
kind
of
of.
me.
I don't want
I
that
don't
kind
think I want a twin anymore.
of. I don't want that kind of twin.
Mm. Could you imagine growing up with two of me?
Mm, no, thank you.
But what? Okay, so it would be twins are sometimes like the opposite. What about
Uh-huh.
the opposite of me? That would
I'm
just
the
be you.
I'm the opposite of you.
So it would just be like they look like me but act like you.
I don't think I would like that either.
Okay. So we're gonna go to China.
China.
We're gonna talk about the new gooey. I don't judge me. I don't know how to say it.
They're so
It's in
scary, new
you.
gooey.
It's in you, and then GUI. New gooey.
Nagui? Nagu.
Nagui.
Nagui?
Nagui.
Nagui?
Nagui.
No, I don't know.
I don't know, but it's a very vengeful woman spirit. A woman that's been done wrong, usually in a long, flowing white dress with long, untamed hair.
I have a
Yes, ma'am.
question.
What?
Why is it always women?
Because we are very vengeful and do not do us wrong. We're gonna come back and haunt you.
Sorry, continue.
Yeah, it's basically just it's a vengeful spirit, and it's a woman that's been done wrong, and she's very like a white dress, long, untamed hair, and it's
Like the
pretty much the
grudge?
Chinese version. Pretty much, it's like the Chinese version of La Llorona.
Ah,
Pretty much, that's
okay.
it's that's all I got here.
Did she murder her children?
I don't know. That's just
she's just
that's
a
how she.
she's just a vengeful spirit woman spirit.
Yeah, it's just like the Chinese version of La Llorona.
Huh. And her name is Nugui.
Nagui. I think it's like Nagui, Nugui. I don't know. She's an angry woman with untamed hair. So me in the morning.
From China. You're not from China.
Um, we also have the death worm.
Sounds
It is
so scary.
exactly how it sounds. It is a
Sounds.
worm of death.
It sounds like something from like Beetlejuice, like the sandworms.
Yeah, that's
Oh my gosh.
that's what it
Really?
is.
Really?
They're in the Gobi Desert, which is part of China, and part of Mongolia, like that big giant wasteland. That's like it's a big ass worm. Like that's literally what I have written down. That's a big ass freaking worm with no head. Doesn't have eyes, no head, and it's just it has an opening. Like the whole top part is just round row of teeth.
Okay, no, hold up.
All I can
Hold
think
up.
about
No,
is
is
like on
this.
Star Wars.
Go ahead.
On Star Wars where they like with Jabba the Hutt and they like throwing stuff in, like they're trying to throw like Han Solo and all them in.
Mhm.
That's that's what it is.
No, you know what I think of? Is Dune. I don't know if
Dude,
you've
I never seen
seen
that.
Dune, but like the sandworms, that's what it is. It's just they're
Yeah, probably.
giant worms in the sand, and they don't see anything. They don't have eyes. They find you through the vibrations, and they find you, and they just opens up, and you fall into just a circle of sharp teeth.
Yeah, pretty much. Like there's like they're in video games or in movies or yeah, it is the death worm.
Interesting.
The head full of just round teeth. Its mouth is sorry. It is deadly to the touch. Like its skin is poisoned.
Oh,
So like if you touch it, you'll die.
oh.
If you get eaten, you'll die. So stay away from the death worms in the Gobi Desert.
I wonder if there was this wasn't their explanation to why people were dying in the desert.
Yeah, probably. Okay, so the next one is the Shui Gooey.
You have the Nugui and the Shui Gooey.
Or like
They have very gooey monsters.
or like the Shui Gui. I don't know. Shui.
The shy guy. It's a shy guy.
It's a Shui Gooey. I don't know.
Shui gooey.
Shui Gui. I am sorry, I don't know Chinese. And like I seriously I should have like typed these in and try to figure out the pronunciations of these. Um like
That's,
cuz I watched videos on them. I like looked at the pronunciations and all that.
I looked it up to try to help you. Maybe I can find an example. And all that comes up are images of shy guys.
No, so it's SHUI
Oh,
space
UI.
G GUI.
GUI. Okay, wait, that's fine. Oh my gosh. Shh. This, um, that's kind of creepy.
Shy guy.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
Shy Guy is an urban legend. Nintendo 64, he's the one videotaping you. Anyways, however you pronounce it, it is a water spirit. It is often it's people often like died by drowning or in the water, like put pushed in the water, died in the water. Usually they're overwhelmed by vengeance, and sorrow. They had stayed in the water where they died, um, because like the water is like known to be the in between the living and the
Mm,
dead
mm,
world. But usually, like, so there's a couple stories about women that have been done wrong. Usually, it's women. Um, there's one story I forget what it was called, but it's pretty much lady was in love with a man in love with the lady, asked to marry her. They were gonna get married. Well, later he's like, well, I actually want this girl,
mm.
so they didn't go through the marriage. So she went back to where they proposed and jumped in the water and committed suicide.
Oh.
And from then on, haunted the water. So it's pretty much a vengeful woman
Hmm.
that was killed in the water and she ends up staying in the water and she will drag you down if she grabs you and drown you.
Two things. One that kind of sounds like in La Llorona, the other one that you're talking about.
Mm.
Um, uh, it kind of because like that's kind of like how that story goes. Is she had two kids and then her husband like cheated on her or whatever, and so she went and drowned herself in the water. But before she did that, she drowned her children because she wanted her children to go with her.
Yeah.
And then
That's what I'm saying. A lot of them
yeah,
are very, very similar to other cultures. Like this is in China
right,
and
and
the
that
other
was
one is
in
in
Mexico.
Latin America.
Yeah,
Yeah. Like
Latin America, Mexico.
completely different.
Yeah.
Um, there's also the Shing Jing Shai, Jing Shai, uh,
It's Chinese. We
Jing
don't know.
Shai, Jing Shai. I think I'm closer on that one. It literally means rigid corpse.
Oh.
It is a Chinese vampire-like creature. Like, usually it's people that didn't receive the proper burial. That's why it's so important for the Chinese culture to receive the proper burial.
Ah.
Um, or they died tragically, like away from home,
Mm.
and they were never given a proper burial.
Yeah.
And it's more like a zombie vampire type thing
Mhm.
because it's your loved one. And it depends on how they died, on how they looked or when they died. So if they died like long ago, they're very eh, like decomposed,
Yeah.
very, very rigid,
Yeah.
really smelly. If they've just died, they look like a normal. They haven't gotten rigor mortis yet, so they're not as stiff.
Mhm.
They can move,
Mhm.
but after time, they start decomposing and being gross.
Yeah.
Um, they don't handle the sun well because if you're decomposing, that would be like a animal like you like on the side of the road like roadkill.
Mm.
The sun bakes it and
Yeah.
makes it really
Yeah.
gross. And
Yeah.
yeah, so they don't handle the sun very well. Um, they move by jumping. So like if you like they hop because they can't bend their knees and they can't move their hips, so
Yeah.
they hop.
So it's like a
So like
vampire zombie rabbit.
thing. Um, and they do bite people to turn them into these rigid corpse, so vampire-like creatures.
Uh huh.
But they do not suck your blood. They do not suck blood.
Mm.
They zap your energy pretty much.
Ah.
They suck out your energy.
Mm.
So it's like known like people are like very lethargic, very tired, very just worn out.
Mm.
It said that the rigid corpse had gotten a hold of you and they are taking your energy and gonna turn you into one because you're gonna die and if you don't get a proper burial, you'll be one.
Ah.
It's like one of those things like stress is the biggest killer. Like if you're tired and stressed
Right.
out
Right.
and like
Right.
oh,
Yeah.
it's to the rigid corpse that are sucking out your energy.
Yeah.
So like I said, lots of vampire stories throughout the whole world, but
Right.
I thought that one was
That's
kind of
good.
goofy and
Yeah.
silly.
Yeah.
Like I literally watched a video of these like ancient dressed Chinese people and they're hopping in a line.
Oh my
It was
god.
funny. We're gonna go to South America,
Okay.
and they have a lot
Like a
of urban
chupacabra.
legends. Yeah, uh, yeah, and I'm gonna try not to do the really known ones.
Mm.
That means I'm having to pronounce
Hey,
some more names.
I might actually be able to help you on this one. I kind of know how I know the Spanish alphabet better than I know the Chinese alphabet.
I'm gonna start off with one that's the easiest for me to pronounce. Some regions is called El Coco, or some regions is called El Kuki, Kuki, Koki, Kuki, Koki. Oh,
How's it spelled?
oh. Ku Kuki. Koki?
How's it spelled?
Kuchi. Kuchi.
Gucci. El Gucci.
Well, let's just stick with El Coco. In some regions, it's called El Coco. They have another name for it, but pronouncing is not my forte. So it is pretty much the boogeyman of quit laughing.
I'm sorry. I'm just so scared of the El Gucci.
I was gonna say edit all that out, asshole.
I'm sorry, I couldn't help myself.
Well, I guess we're leaving it in now.
No, probably not.
But it's the El Coco is like the boogeyman of Latin America.
My God.
Every time I look at the name Gucci, Cucy.
C U
Oh,
C Y.
Cucey.
C U
Kuki?
C Y. Q.
Gucci.
Is the only man
Cooey.
to defeat Habib.
El Cucuy.
Before and our award-winning El Kakui.
El Kukui.
Cucuy. The El Coco or El Cucuy. It depends on what region you're in.
Okay.
This is the boogeyman of Latin America. Pretty much, it's the boogeyman. Like it takes misbehaved children or children that don't want to go to sleep at night,
Mhm.
and it lives under beds or in closets. And at night, if you're not going to bed, you're not doing your told, you're not behaving, it snatches you and brings you back to his home and eats you.
Why do all these urban legends have where the children are getting eaten or baked alive?
And behave, or the kukui is going to eat you.
Behave, or the Kukui, the Krampus, the fairies are gonna come switch you out. Like all these things are gonna happen if you don't behave. So you better
Most
behave.
of most of our most of urban legends are meant to scare children
Yeah.
and make them behave.
Mm.
That's what most of urban legends are. But yeah, it is the boogeyman of Latin America. He hides under your bed, in your closet, somewhere dark. And if you're not doing what you're told, or you're not going to sleep when you're told, comes in, snatches you, takes him home, and cooks you up and has a meal.
Exciting.
Yeah. Um.
I'm prepared. I'm ready.
Salahui Poochie.
What?
Ta- Talahuli. Talahul Poochie. Talahulu Poochie.
I do not believe this is right. How is it spelled?
TLA
T O T L
HUE
A.
TLAHUELPUCHI. Talahu Poochie. Talahu Talahu El Poochie.
Don't think that's right. Hold on. Hold on. I don't believe that is correct. I
Talahuli Poochie.
Tluahuelpuchi.
You weren't far off.
Tluahuelpuchi.
Tuale Pucci. Pucci is the last one.
Poochie. Talu Poochie.
Tluahuelpuchi.
Tual
Tluahuelpuchi.
Tulual Tulel Lepucci. Tulual Lepucci. Tuale Alpucci. I don't know. But the last part is Pucci.
Okay. Well, this creature is shape shift a shape shifting vampire
Oh.
That is a beautiful, beautiful woman. Gorgeous. Gorgeous woman during the day.
Mm-hmm.
Like, see her on the side of the road, be like, I gotta get that number. Like, I need her.
Get that number.
But is a monstrous. Monsterish?
Monsterish? Is that a word?
Monsterish?
Monsterish.
Monsterish. Monsterish?
Monsterish. I don't think that's a word, but okay. Monster esque?
Mo- sure, sure.
Monster esque.
A a
Monster
horrible,
like.
scary, a horrible, scary looking creature. At night, and they can detach their head and use their head to fly around to find their prey.
Huh. Monstrous is what the word you were looking for, by the way.
What?
Monstrous?
Yeah,
Yeah.
monsterish.
I thought you were saying monster ish, but monstrous. Yeah, sorry.
Monsterish.
Yeah.
Monsterish. Now I'm saying all okay.
Sorry, I just realized that
Anyways,
that was the word that you were saying.
they are very gorgeous women at night. They're scary, creepy, and like ugh. And they can take off their heads,
Ew.
and their head, at least their body, their head flies around to find their prey
What does their
and
body do?
attack their prey.
Just stand there?
I don't know, just stands
It's
there,
like
I
it's like
guess.
someone controlling a drone, just standing there. And while it's flying around, they're just standing there controlling their head, just with their heads off
Just
somewhere
no
else.
head, just body. And there's actually a lot of I was like a lot of urban legends, like definitely in Asia
Mm-hmm.
area. That their heads either like their necks stretch and they can move their heads anywhere, or their head just deattaches
Oh,
and they go anywhere.
exciting.
But this one was one of the people that could take their heads off and a vampire. So I just kind of
Yeah,
added that one in there.
just a mix of both.
Yeah, so if you just see a head flying around, it's a vampire coming to find you.
Don't panic. We know what it is.
No, it is. Well, kind of. It's a El Poochie. Hello, El Poochie.
Talelebuchi. Talelebuchi.
People are going to hate me.
We can barely speak English. How do you expect us to pronounce
Look,
anything else?
years of speech therapy, get off me. Okay, so the next one,
I'm ready.
ex- Exatabe, Exatabe,
Centipede?
Xtabay, Exatabe. It sounds like Pig Latin.
Stop it.
Stabe.
Hmm?
Stabe.
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 Ha, okay, that makes sense. Estabe.
Stabe.
Estabe. Okay, well, I'm gonna butcher these names in the story. So
Okay.
it's a story about two women, Exiban
We'll go with that.
and Utskolo.
Nice. I like those names.
Both very, very, very beautiful women.
Mhm.
One, Excaban, was known to be very giving in a sexual nature. She was very didn't dress very modestly. She was just
She was a
very
hussy, essentially.
yeah, she was a hussy, but she was very sweet.
Mm.
She was very giving. Ob- she was
Obviously.
she was very giving, but she gave to the poor and the needy, and she went around town and helped people rebuild their houses and like charities. So she was very, very
She
beautiful
just
soul.
she just liked to be loved.
She liked to be loved. And then the other woman, Uts Holel, she was a virgin, but she was a huge snob.
Ah.
She was like on her high horse. I'm better than you. How dare you talk to me, peasant? Like very just
Mm-hmm.
to everyone. She never helped
Huh.
anyone.
That's
She
rude.
was just very, very high horse. I stay here.
Yeah.
All right. So when Escoban died, and the whole town mourned.
Mm.
But this very like where they buried her, because they had a burial for her. Everyone mourned. They were upset. A very sweet smell, very sweet floral smell, took over the whole town,
Mm.
and they would follow it, and they were like, "What is that smell?" And they went to her grave. Her grave had grown very beautiful flowers, very beautiful foliage. And then when Utz Kalel died, the town, mourned.
Mm.
It was one of our high ladies, or gone, but like wasn't sad about it because she didn't
Mm.
really do much.
Right.
Um, the whole town stunk,
Mm.
smelled so bad. It smelled like death.
Oh.
And they're like, "What is that?" Like trying to figure out what that smell is. Like, what is this smell? Followed back to her grave, and it became very like all the plants around it died.
Oh my
Like
gosh.
animals around it were dead. And so ex Kaban, moved on with her life and kind of watched over the town and still helped the town
Mm.
like after being dead.
Mm.
And Utz Kalel, she became a very evil spirit.
Mm.
Like if you saw her, it was a bad omen. You're dead.
Right.
Like tried to destroy everything because she felt that she had lived this proper life like supposed to, and the whole town didn't love her, didn't
Yeah.
adore her like they did the town hussy.
Right.
So it was a lesson of just because you are clean and virgin
Mm.
and all this, and you have a bad soul, if you have a bad spirit,
Mm.
no one's gonna miss you.
Right.
Now, if you do these, you know,
Essentially, be a good person.
yeah, like you do these bad things that society doesn't want you to do, but you're ultimately a good person
Mm.
and you are just kind and giving and all around like you are going to move on and the
Mm.
town's gonna love you and miss you and all that. So I
Yeah.
think it was a really cool story.
Yeah.
It was just really hard to explain. Not really hard to explain. It's just hard to pick the right words with these kind of stories.
Mm.
So those are some South American slash Mexican urban legends. I didn't want to get the ones that we really knew, like the El Chupacabra and La
Mm.
Llorona and stuff like that. We're gonna move on to American urban legends, which it was kind of hard to do to find urban legends in America that no one's really, heard of
Mm.
because we live in America, so we heard of a lot of them. But one of them that I find, like, so most of them are gonna come from Native American. Because I
Mm.
tried not to have like I try to have the old urban legends that have been here for that were here before, you know, America became America.
Right.
But the first one we're gonna go through is the Wendigo. You know what a Wendigo is?
I think I've heard of it.
So Wendigo, so that it's mostly in the Great Lake regions.
Mm.
The Alec oh Jesus. The Alec Algonquin tribe. Algonquin tribe. Algonquin. Algonquin. Mispronouncing that. But around the Great Lakes region and like between America, Canada,
Mm.
that
Yeah.
area,
Yeah.
um, is known to have the Wendigos, which is in the winter cold. You have like in the mountains. There's times that you get lost, you get alone, or you're in a small tribe, and it's pretty much a story of don't eat people. That's don't eat people
Okay then. I won't.
because if you eat people, you become a Wendigo.
Oh.
But it's the Great Lakes region. It's a malevolent spirit that inhabits you. and tries to manipulate you into doing very bad things and amongst those many bad things. Um, it's has like not just like hunger, like eating hunger.
Mm.
It's hunger over like greed. Like
Yeah.
you want something someone else has. You're coveting something.
Mm.
You're hungry. You're thirsty. Like just that extreme feeling.
Mm.
Tries to manipulate you into giving into that.
Mm.
And if you do, um, you become a Wendigo,
Mm.
which is a monstrous looking creature. Said it. A monstrous looking creature that very long, very lanky, very like very pale, and you're always hungry.
Hmm.
Like no matter how much you eat, no matter how much you take in, you cannot feel satisfied.
Hmm.
And most of it was if you eat a person, you become a Wendigo, but
Hmm.
like, it's more than just that.
Right.
Um, yeah, pretty much if you eat human flesh, you turn into it. But yeah, it's
Interesting.
Until Dawn,
Mm-hmm.
that video game.
Mm-hmm.
It's about Wendigos.
Oh,
I am doing a terrible job in explaining this, and I
no,
hope
I think you're doing a
y'all
great
are
job.
not annoyed.
I think you're doing a great
I did
job.
so much research, and I love doing this. It took days to do this, and I'm just butchering it all.
I think you're doing a great job.
The next one is Skinwalker.
Okay. So earlier, um, when you were talking about the changelings, I was sitting there thinking, I was like, is that the same thing as a skinwalker?
Like, no, but so you know how you used to go on TikTok or Facebook and you see like, your animal doing a weird thing? They're like, "Oh my God, it's a skinwalker."
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's because that's all over America. This is literally the four main peaks of the Navajo tribe. There's two main peaks in Colorado.
Mm.
There's one in Arizona, one in New Mexico. So in Native American urban legends, it is only in that area, in the Navajo region.
Too close to
Um,
that region.
yeah. They are called Yi Nadalushi.
Oh,
And
interesting.
I am actually pretty close with that pronunciation. It's not quite right, but it's pretty close.
Mm-hmm.
Yi Nadalushi. Right, so they're known to be witches that originate from the Navajo Nation.
Mm.
So there's these medicine people that have to go to the four most sacred points in Colorado, Arizona, New Mexico.
Mm.
But they had to get it to it. They have to get to those 4 points within a certain amount of days and have a ritual.
Mm.
And well, on foot, like human form, you can't do that. They didn't have a car, they couldn't do that.
Right.
So the spiritual people taught them how to turn into animals. Now, to be able to learn how to turn it into like an animal took years and years and years of training and years of practice.
Mm.
And then there's some people that just didn't have the patience for it. They're like, oh, it's taking too freaking long.
Mm.
So they would pray, like, please, like, let this be shorter time. I'm tired of waiting. Well, these negative spirits would hear their prayers because they are like they're not doing what they're supposed to do
Right.
with the blessed spiritual people.
Right.
So the negative entities and negative spirits are telling them there's a faster way. If you do what we say, when we say it, there's a faster way. We can we can get this done. So, step 1, they would tell them, you had to kill a loved one, but not any loved one. It has to be immediate family, usually a sibling, like somebody that it shares pretty much the same 50-50 blood that
Mm.
you do. It could be a mother or father. It's usually a sibling.
That's
So you
sad.
get the murder, your sibling.
Okay then.
Number 2, do everything I say when I say it. No questions asked.
Ah.
I mean, there's a lot more, but I don't want to. th- This is a very strong belief in the Navajo community,
Mm.
and it's not really meant to be talked about really. But I'm not going to go through the steps like this is how you do this.
Yeah, no.
But pretty much what the negative entity spirit says, you do it.
Mm.
They would have to hunt an animal because you couldn't just turn into an animal like like that. You had to hunt the animal that you want to turn into, skin it, and on the body and the bones you had to carve in ritual symbols and have a ritual over it. Then you had to wear the said skin. So there's a lot of process to be able to do this.
Yeah.
Um, Usually it was a deer, like a buck, a wolf, coyotes, sometimes a bear. Not really, because bears are known to be like good, gentle spirits, like um guiding spirits.
Mm.
But it's what you caught is what you would turn into. They're known to mimic voices and use bones like buried bones. They would rob graves and use their bones as weapons. So they'd be carrying around like a sharpened dagger made of bone, or they would use the flesh and the bones of the deceased as poisons. Um,
Scary.
and they were extremely fast, like unbelievably fast. You could barely see them move until they decided, like, hey, I am, you're my target. And it's known in like so in the Navajo country, they're very spread apart. Like it could be a house or like a what they would call their house, and it could be acres, 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 acres away, and they would have another one. So they're very spread apart.
Mm.
So if you hear tapping on your on your roof or knocking on your door, and you would hear bells because they would carry like not bell like not chimes or not like Christmas bells, but like old kind of bell clanking.
Mm-hmm.
You would hear that, and you need to stay inside. And if any of them touched you, harmed you, or cursed you, you had to immediately find one of the spiritual people so they can take away the curse. Usually, a lot of times when they would get sick and they can't be healed, they would blame it on the skinwalkers.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but it was you need to immediately go through a ritual to be uncursed or you're going to die and there's no way to help you. But it all started with these people that didn't want to wait, didn't want to be patient, and they were turned into skinwalkers.
That's creepy.
But yeah, it's not your animal acting weird or like seeing weird things. Unless you're in Navajo country, then I don't
Who
know.
knows?
But if you're on the East West Coast and you're like, hey, my dog is doing something weird.
My
Nah.
dad is doing something weird.
My dad, no, my dog.
And funny thing is, um, like so I've seen like because I would see some stuff like that on TikTok and stuff like that, and I would just keep scrolling because it freaked me out. Um, and so I've never actually entirely knew what like a skinwalker was, and I just like it's creepy, man.
No, their origins is from the Navajo tribe, and it's a very serious thing in their tribe. So I didn't like a lot of these things are like very
Right,
serious.
right.
But like Native Americans, they're very spiritual. They're very
Mm-hmm.
in tune with the earth, and it is a very serious thing for them.
Yeah.
Um, I know in Colorado, I think Colorado, there's a place called Skinwalker Ranch, and it's like where like apparently a lot of them are, but it's a lot of evil, like witches and spells and rituals and like it's crazy. Like if you want to look up some of these things, like it's crazy.
Nah, I'm okay.
Um, and then there's another one from the Navajo tribe called the Chindi. It basically is a Navajo spirit, a ghost of like it's a ghost of the dead. So it's a ghost. Um, it's supposed to leave your body when you take your last breath. That's why they try to have people die outside, so
Mm-hmm.
they have a bigger place to be released and
Right.
be free.
Right.
A lot of times they don't want people to die in closed doors in buildings
Mm-hmm.
because that chindi, that negative spirit that's supposed to be released at the last breath, can't go anywhere, can't escape.
Right.
Um, it can cause goat. It can cause ghost sickness, which is if you come in contact with the chindi. Um, and it's pretty much like like an illness, like any other illness, coughing, rashes. They call it the ghost sickness because people were getting sick and they had people die inside.
Mm.
Um, and it's pretty much just a negative spirit of somebody, like all their sins,
Right.
that are all collected in the last breath that's supposed to be let go.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it didn't have anywhere to go.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, well, that was pretty cool.
That one's interesting.
We're gonna go to Texas, which, oh my God,
Why
there
are
were so
why
many urban
why
legends
are
in
you
Texas
doing this to me? Why are you doing this to me?
because it's our
You're not
hometown.
the one that lives here.
Well, okay, so this one I grew up knowing about this one, and I thought it was really cool. It's goofy, okay? It is so goofy.
Okay. Okay.
Um, but oh my gosh, there's so many urban legends in Texas. Like it is crazy.
I'm uncomfy.
The first one is the Goat Man of
mm,
Lake Worth, or
mm.
the Lake Worth Monster,
I've heard of the
or
goat
the
man.
Greer Island Goat Man.
I've heard of the goat man.
You heard of the Goat
I've
Man?
heard of the goat man.
Yeah.
The goat man's kind of
So,
stupid.
so
I
the Goat
mean,
Man, yeah. So the Goat Man is goat slash man
the goat man.
slash fish.
Fish.
Okay. So in 1969, a man-like body with goat um dog head type thing with scales was spotted. Goat man fish.
Okay then.
And it was so in the Fort Worth Lake, there's Greer Island, which wasn't really an island. It's just like uh, just kind of land that goes in
Mhm.
like pretty far.
Mhm.
But it was spotted, and there was news articles about it. Like it just went crazy. Um, drove hunters insane. Like they went out to find this goat man fish.
Goat man
It's so funny to
fish.
say. There was over 100 hunters armed hunting down the Lake Worth goat man.
I have a question.
Yes.
Was this goat man fish harming anybody, or did someone just see them and say, "Ah, let's go kill it"?
Apparently, it had thrown tires at somebody.
Oh,
There was this young couple that was doing the mm,
oh,
and it was throwing tires at them.
well,
But like
maybe
never
they.
really harmed anybody. It was just seen.
Ah,
Um, but the news articles and news and stuff were like, we're less worried about the goat man, or we're worried about, the 100 so hunters
Texan
armed
hunters.
in this small area. that were wearing ghillie suits and camouflage, and they were worried that someone was going to get shot.
Nobody
Not wearing a wardrobe
dress
band.
remotely close like a goat.
No, no, no. Anything that looks like a goat, don't do. Um, but it pretty much stopped because like this was happening in the summer
Mm,
of 1969. When school started, it just kind of stopped.
mm. It just
So most likely
stopped.
it was probably some teenagers
Yeah,
like
probably.
dressed up or something, scaring people. They still believed and that they actually have festivals every year, well every couple years,
For a goat.
dressing up dressing up like the goat man.
The festival's for a goat man. Oh my gosh.
That one's pretty fun. That one's pretty funny. That's like pretty close to
Interesting.
where we're from. This next one, not so fun.
Please tell me it's not close to me.
No,
Okay, cool.
no. Anyways, it's called the Black Eyed Children.
Oh, I've heard about this one.
Yeah.
I've heard about that. I didn't know it was in Texas.
Yeah. So in 1998,
Oh.
Brian Bethel was a reporter and he was at a movie theater and he was sitting in the parking lot in his car and two boys came up to him between the ages of like 9 and 12 and they're very, kept looking kids and they were in a dark hoodie with their hoods on their heads, knocked on the window, and they were asking a ride home to their mom's house because they forgot their money to be able to pay for the movie.
Mm,
He's like, that's weird. Like, you come to the movies, you forget your money, whatever.
mm,
And he like, it's like okay, like that's fine. But the voices, he was so like, have you ever had that unsettling feeling that you're like something's not right?
mm-hmm,
Well, he immediately, as soon as he rolled the window down, like these boys, it just he had that unsettling feeling. The voices were very mechanical, like almost like they were rehearsed.
mm-hmm.
Um, and he just it's weird, and he's like, ah. He looked up, he looked closer to the boys. Both boys have completely black eyes, like completely, like no whites in their eyes, completely black. And he rolled up the window, and he's like, no, and he goes to drive away. Well, these two boys started banging on the window and on the doors, and they said, "It's okay. We're just kids. Let us in." And he's like, "No, no, 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 not doing that." And they said, "We can't come in unless you tell us it's okay." So they had to be invited in.
They're like vampires.
Yes. The children usually were like kind of remind me of like the kind of a changeling-ish thing.
Mm-hmm.
But the kids are usually wearing dark hooded jackets, hoodies, had their like kind of face covered,
Mm-hmm.
or very Victorian style clothing.
Mm-hmm.
And they would come up to your door, whether it be car, like walk on the side of the road, you see his kids, you want to stop, ask if they're okay, or come up to your door, knock on your door, and there would be some reason would want to come in. Like, oh, I need to use your phone or
Mm-hmm.
you use the bathroom, something. But they always sound like rehearsed and mechanical and not like they didn't behave like normal kids.
Mm-hmm.
And if you invited them in, very bad things would happen in your house or, they would kill you.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but it was just there was this huge phenomenon going on, and it started in Abilene, Texas, and it went across the whole United States of sightings of these black-eyed children.
You said it's not really close. It is, though.
Huh?
You said it's not really that close.
Well, that's not far away. I don't know, but yeah,
I'm uncomfy. If I see children come up to me with black eyes Don't accept anything from them. It's not okay. I work with children on a daily basis.
Just walk up to the kids, like open their eye real big.
Look at
Get
me.
your eyes black. Look at me in the eyes.
3 hours away.
The next one, the candy lady. So there was this nice old lady. She wanted to give out candy.
Don't sound
It's
very
fine.
nice.
Well, I don't have written down where this was located.
That's comforting.
But anyways, children are going missing, and they blamed it on the candy lady. She would leave candies on these children's window sills. And at night, when the kids would open up the window and snatch the candy, and she would snatch them. Um,
Don't be dumb. Don't open your window at night. That's stupid.
yeah. It said that she was feeding them candy to snack on their sugary blood.
Hey, it's almost like the Hansel and Gretel story again.
Yeah. Um, like detectives were like, okay, having to look into these missing children. There was a farmer that had found teeth of a child in his field.
Again.
Later, found a dead kid with candy stuffed in his pockets, like overflowing candy stuffed in his pockets.
Oh my god.
Um, Claire Kane, no, Claire Crane, a real woman who poisoned her husband in 1895, is said to be responsible for these missing children. Of course, like it was later down the road, so she was obviously dead and haunting that area.
Mm-hmm.
She poisoned her husband with with poison laced carameled candies.
Oh.
Like that's how she killed her husband. That's how she got the name Candy Lady. But it wasn't that same area, and these kids just started going missing, so they blamed it on the spirit of the Candy Lady.
Ah. Nice.
So it was pretty much don't take candy from strangers, children.
Stranger danger. Keep your
Stranger danger.
window shut at night. Don't be dumb.
So those are like some of the creepy like urban legends, like because we were all told stories as kids to kind of either scare us into being behaved or
Mm-hmm.
scare us into doing something that we're not supposed to, or even like good ones like Santa, you
Mm-hmm.
know? But there is this one, and I found it so, so sad, and I had to add it to this one. It's it's horrible and sad. And it's called Charlie No Face. So this couple was driving down the road, and the multiple people have seen him. But this couple was driving down the road and saw this man figure with a very like deformed face that night. Like nothing was supposed to be where it was supposed to be. It was very like lumpy and deformed. And they start like all the children and all the teenagers and all the people around this area start calling him Charlie No Face because a lot of people would see him. It was a real man. His name was Raymond Theodore Robinson, and he was born with like deformities. And you can look him up. Like his face is very, very, very deformed. And he was the sweetest man. He was so sweet. And he knew that his face would scare children and make people feel uncomfortable. So the only time he would leave his house was at night. So not many
No.
people would have to look at him, not many people would have to see him. He never ever left his house unless it was at night. He would go on walks, he would do like, but they made this whole urban legend on this poor,
Poor
sweet
guy.
man. Yeah, like look up Charlie No Face.
Oh wow. Not gonna lie, it's kind of creepy.
Yeah. Like that was he was a real man. And it's so sad.
That is sad.
Yeah.
Oh.
But I don't want to end it on a sad note or creepy or anything like that. We're gonna talk about, things we were told as kids. And let me know if you have heard these. Don't eat Pop Rocks and drink soda or your stomach will explode.
I did hear that one. I have heard that one.
What about keep making that face and it'll get stuck that way.
Yep. Yep. Heard that one all the time too. Your face is gonna get stuck like that.
It would make me want to make that face even
Yeah.
more. Sitting too close to the screen will make you have eye damage.
Yeah. I've heard that one too.
It's so funny. Like nowadays, everyone has a phone. Everyone has a screen that they
It's
hold
like right there.
like this close to their face or like a
Just
computer.
yeah.
Yeah, inside is like it's not true. Like it'll strain your eyes if you're like looking at anything too long.
Right.
But I thought that was a funny one. If you swallow gum, it will stay in your
It's like
stomach
for
for
7 years.
7 years.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
That is not right. That is very wrong. It will digest just like the rest of your food.
But though, if you do
Um,
swallow too much, like an excessive amount, it can create a
it
blockage.
clogged your so yeah. Like cheese.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, you swallow a watermelon seed, you'll go watermelon in your tummy.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yep.
And the one that I truly, truly, truly believed until I was a freaking adult, like truly believed until I was adult, and it made me so mad. Keeping the lights on the cab of the car at night
Oh my
was
god.
illegal.
I believed that one for the longest time
Mom would
until
tell us that.
yes, no, until I was like probably an adult. And I think she saw it on TikTok one time. It was like things that your parents used to tell you that are not true. And it was that. And I'm like, wait, that's not illegal. And I went and asked mom. She goes, no, I just told you that because I can't see with it on. And I'm like, that is so rude.
I mean, it makes
It
sense.
does
Like
make sense.
other than saying, turn the lights off. I need it off because I can't see.
Mm.
Like kids aren't gonna listen to that.
No.
It's illegal, and mommy will get taken to jail.
Okay,
Okay, mom.
I'll turn it off.
But I thought that putting those in were funny because of
Yeah.
lies that we were told as kids.
Yeah.
So out of all the urban legends that we went over today, what is going to be the one that's going to stick with you?
Um. Uh. 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 Not gonna lie, probably like the child one, the black guy, black
Black eyed
eyed
children.
children. Um.
I think the changeling one is like the
Yeah.
how much of like that is gonna
That's
stick in my
crazy.
head.
Yeah.
Like, because I cannot believe how many people were killed, like how many
Right.
people and
Yeah.
kids were
Yeah.
killed because of it.
Yeah.
And it's just like you leave them alone, they'll start singing and dancing and playing bagpipes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kill it.
Oh my gosh, a child's singing. No, you can't sing.
But
Okay,
again,
how many?
I am gonna apologize for not being able to pronounce anything
You're okay. It's okay.
and not explaining these stories very well because I did a lot of research and I am so tired. I had a long day at work and my brain's just not functioning right now.
I feel like it's fine.
So
I think
I
it's
hope
fine.
you enjoyed the half-ass storytelling of urban legends. And if you have any urban legends that are like from your area we didn't talk about and you find them really interesting and you like, let me know in the comments. I would love, love, love to do some research on them and take a look at them because I
Yeah,
like urban
and
legends.
she can, she can do all of that. I will say, hey, look, there's a comment in here. Go look at it, because I'm not. But like I told you, like I've like seen stuff on the skinwalkers, and it's freaked me out. Like I don't. Like I don't look into it because it freaks me out. Like there was I was going through TikTok the other day and like there was this couple and I don't know where they lived, but they were like doing the dishes or something and there was like this whistling outside, and they said did you hear that, or what was that? And then she paused and she goes, so what are we having for dinner? And on the comments it says, I didn't realize that I acknowledged it, and like those things, I was like, what are they talking about? I looked at the comments, and it was like, yeah, if I hear any sounds outside, like I don't acknowledge it, I ignore it, and it's like apparently like something, I don't know where, I
Yeah.
don't know what area it is, but it's like it's something like if you hear the whistling, you acknowledge it.
I know the whistling in the Appalachian Mountains,
Maybe that's what it is.
like you're supposed to ignore that. You don't whistle back.
Maybe
You
that's what
don't
it is.
acknowledge it. You don't do anything like that because there's a lot of spirits and stuff like that.
Maybe that's what it is.
But
I don't know, but it was like something like that, and I was like, okay, we're gonna keep scrolling because I'm uncomfy.
I'm acknowledging it. But that was my storytelling ability.
Exciting.
Um, it is late at night and we are having a very late dinner. My husband just got done cooking, so I'm about to go eat.
Yeah. I'm probably not gonna be able to sleep tonight, so this is cool.
Do it.
So I'm probably not gonna be able to sleep tonight, so this is cool.
Just
I'll
message
be
me.
fine. I'll be fine. Oh my goodness.
But I have no idea what we're doing for our Halloween episode.
We'll
And
figure
I
it
know
out.
on the other episode I talked about it was the day after. No, I'm stupid and I don't know how to read a calendar. It will be coming out on Halloween. So I just need to write the episode for that.
Oh my goodness. Okay, well, this has been fun. I'm scared.
This has been fun.
I'm gonna go eat and cry myself to sleep. Okay.
Okay. Have a good night.
Bye.
Bye. Don't forget to come hang out with us every Thursday when we talk about the common chaos of sisterhood.